So you need to flip to the extra pages that we haven't used yet, and you are looking for a page that looks like this, and hopefully you have cut out all the different pieces, and you are going to make it, after you cut out all the pieces, yes, there's holes. You could probably with your pencil or with some scissors like poke a hole so that you can put the brads in it. And I'm going to tell you the order that you're going to put them in. So the first one, obviously the cover, properties of operations. And then we're going to do identity, and we'll just go through them, and then at the end you can put the brad on. And we're going to write the definitions on each one. We have talked about these definitions before. It should not be anything new, but we're going to rewrite them. The more you hear something, the more it will get stuck in your brain. So properties of operations, different mathematical properties. You've already watched some videos, and now we're just going to write the definitions. So identity property comes first. Notice at the top I have an addition and a multiplication
Jack Bowen,
sign.
if you're in the building, you need to go to your bus. Jack Bowen.
The identity property only works when you're doing adding or multiplying. So here's the definition. Adding 0 or multiplying by 1 does not change the value. If you add 0 or if you multiply by 1, it does not change the value. We know this, that makes sense. If you add 0 to something like these examples down here, 5 plus 0, that 0 doesn't change anything. Your answer still stays a 5. Over here, 5 times 1, that it still stays a 5. Multiplying by 1 or adding 0 does not change the value. Make sure you write these two examples down. If you need to pause the video for a minute so you can continue writing, you can pause, or we can keep going. So the next one, the next property we're going to look at is commutative. Now last time we talked about commutative, we said take the CO in commutative. CO stands for change order. You are changing the order, you are switching places. So CO, change order for commutative property. Again at the top, commutative property only works when you are adding or multiplying, so that's why I put the plus in the multiplication sign. So the commutative property states that you can add or multiply numbers in any order and the result stays the same. You can add or multiply numbers in any order and the result stays the same. So you can switch places. Your numbers can change order, they could trade spots, but your answer should always stay the same. So if you look at the number examples, we know 3 plus 2 is 5, but if they switch places and let 2 be in the front, 2 plus 3 still equals a 5. So it works for adding. Now let's look at the multiplication example. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. The 2 and the 3's change places, but you still got 6 for your answer. Now if you put a minus sign there or a division sign there, it would not work. Your answer would not stay the same. CO, change order, your answer stays the same. If you need to continue writing, then you can pause. Or let's move on to the next one. The next property is associative. The last time we did associative property, we said ASSO, all stay same order. ASSO, all stay same order. Our numbers are staying the same. This one, our parentheses are what's changing. So we said if you take the two S's and kind of make a scoop, kind of look like parentheses, if that will help you. So that two S's and associative, they're like parentheses. It's all about grouping differently. Again, associative only works when you're multiplying or adding, so I did the plus sign and the multiplication sign there. The definition, when you add or multiply, you can group any of the numbers together and the result is the same. When you're adding or multiplying, you can group any of the numbers together and the result stays the same. So we use parentheses to group numbers together. So let's look at this example. We have 3, 2, 1. Remember, all stay same order. Over here, 3, 2, 1. My numbers don't change. The only difference between these two examples is my parentheses grouped the first two here, And now my parentheses grouped the last two numbers here. So my parentheses change. Remember, PEMDAS says you have to do parentheses first. So if I do this example right here, 3 plus 2 are grouped together, so we did that first. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then when you add the 1, you get 6. Well, over here, parentheses first, now 2 and 1 are together. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Our middle step is different, but our end answer is still the same. So all stay same order. Your S's are like little parentheses. Your group change, but the result is the same. So when your parentheses move places, but your answer is the same, that means you're using the associative property. Now the last one, the one people get confused with, is the distributive property. A long time ago we watched a YouTube video about the Angry Birds, and you launch to each number that's inside the parentheses. Distributive, it works when you're adding or subtracting inside the parentheses. So this is what the definition says. You can multiply a group of numbers, then add or multiply separately, and then add them. The result is the same. So you can multiply a group of numbers and then add, or you can multiply them separately and then add them. Either way, the result stays the same. And we have examples at the bottom. If something is mushed together, this number right here is mushed without parentheses, so we have to multiply to both numbers inside. You have to be fair and share this 3 with both of the numbers that's inside the parentheses. So when I multiply together, 3 times 4 got 12. 3 launches to the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. And then 12 minus 3 equals 9. So what we did was we multiplied the group. This 4 and the 1 there grouped together. We multiplied the group and then we subtracted them. Or we could have done it this way. We could have multiplied separately and said, okay, 4 times 3 multiplies together. And then we had 3 times 1 multiplied together. And this one is a subtracting example. 12 minus 3 gives us 9. If there was an adding sign, it would have worked as well. So you can multiply them in a group, or you can spread them out and multiply them separately. Distributive property. So hopefully you have them all in the right order. Put them together with your little brad. Hopefully you poke the hole in where they won't fall out. And we are going to put them, when you have your folder, we're going to turn the page. Page 1, you had your expressions and equation pocket, and we're going to turn the page again. And you should have a pocket that says properties of operations on this page right here. I think it's page 2. And you're going to stick it in that pocket. Make sure you put your folder back in your crate so it does not get lost.